All right, and welcome back to the TNT show. As always, it's me, Tyler, and our awesome co-host. I'm pretty sure I
You,
just called myself Tyler. My
you did. Yeah.
bad. No, it's Tavius, and then we got our co-host Tyler. Tyler, you want to say what's up to everybody?
What's up? Yeah, glad to be back. I like the schedule that we're on. We're actually pumping out some pretty good material here.
Yeah. A super exciting week 3 of NFL just passed, so we're about to just get right to y'all with our recaps for that. So that's what we're gonna jump into first, and I'll go ahead and let Tyler kick off our games.
Recap starting off. Let's start off with the Vikings and the Texans. Sam Darnold's figured it out. I don't know. I guess this is what he needed. I guess was a new change of scenery. He's surrounded by a really good team. They embarrassed the Texans.
Oh yeah,
They beat them 34-7. And the Texans have a really good team. Joe Mixon's hurt, so that obviously that plays a little bit of a factor.
yeah,
But yeah, the Vikings right now they're playing some ball, and Sam Darnold is balling out right now. I think if they can stay healthy, they for real might. I know it's early, it's week 3, but if they can stay on this pace, they might be a sneakily good team.
yeah. Um,
They might make a.
uh,
I'm not saying they're gonna make a run, but they might.
they could. I mean, like you said, Sam Darnold's got a really good team around him. Good running back, obviously the best receiver in football right now, and complementary pieces. You got
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Addison. I mean, you got other wide receivers who are pitching in. The defense is playing great, even though they lost one of their better defensive players this past free agency.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the Vikings are playing some really good football. You hope, like you said, they can continue the pace because, I mean, you'd love to see them back in like the NFC Championship or even the Super Bowl. Um, yeah, Sam Darnold looks really good.
Another really good game was the Eagles and the Saints. Um, the Saints did get beat. Um, there again, the Eagles did what they're supposed to do. They went and got Saquon Barkley. I think that was the missing piece that they needed because he's running all over people right now. I'm not saying that that's going to be the reason they go to the Super Bowl, but I think that's going to be a real good reason if he can stay healthy that they're going to make that push.
Yeah, I mean, just given
They
because
also didn't have AJ Brown either. He's hurt too. So
they had two before Saquon Barkley comes in. They had two running backs who thrive with that offensive line. So honestly, I don't think it's Saquon. I think it's more so. Um, honestly, I don't know what it is because last season they looked really good, and they lost like 5 of the last 6 and got destroyed by the Bucks in the playoffs. So I don't know what happened. They just came off a Super Bowl. They looked really good at 11-1, lost 5 of 6, and then I mean, right now I think, well, like you said, Saquon Barkley is just a different kind of running back. So who knows?
but
Maybe he is.
Devontae Smith got hurt Sunday. That was
That
a,
was
a dirty hit by I mean, they need to suspend that guy.
oh yeah, he was trying to kill him.
Like I did you see what his injury was? Did he have a concussion or
I would assume he did. I mean, because he was kind of unconscious there for like maybe a half or a second or two,
yeah, that
and
was a real dirty hit. They need to do something about that.
that's terrible football. That's a bad brand of football right there. You just don't want.
You hate to
Obviously,
see
we
stuff like that. You said what? You cutting me out. You said what?
we don't know if if that guy was, if that's what his intentions were with the hit. Maybe he was just momentum. He's trying to tackle the guys who's coming down with Sometimes it's football, stuff like that is going to happen, but just in the moment, it just looked like it was he was targeting him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the NFL definitely needs to step in on that for sure. You can't have stuff whether it was intentional. Well, if it was intentional, yeah, there definitely needs to be something happening. But you can't have stuff like that's how people get really hurt.
Oh yeah,
Like, but yeah, I think that the NFL will step in, do their part. He'll probably miss a couple games, probably get fined. I've never even heard of him. That player that hit him, I'm not even sure who he was. Um, so that might have a lot to do with it too.
yeah.
But jumping, one game that shocked me was the Broncos obliterated the Buccaneers.
I was
Baker
surprised by that one
Mayfield. I
too.
mean, Baker Mayfield looked like I don't even know if I didn't watch the game because it wasn't on TV, but it looked like Denver just jumped on him quick,
Yeah,
and then the Bucks were just trying to play catch up ball at that point.
yeah. I mean, Bo Nix, he looked like a franchise quarterback against the Bucks. I don't know. I don't know. Um, Obviously, great win for the Broncos. The Buccaneers. I think you take that one on the chin. You get back, to the X's and O's and get back to it
I
next
think
week. I mean,
right. I think that was a glimpse of what Bo Nix can look like.
yeah, like ceiling Bo Nix.
Yeah, like
That's
that's
pretty good.
probably like that's him probably. If you want me to be honest, that's probably him playing at his best.
Yeah, because the Buccaneers got a pretty stout defense, so he lit them
Yeah.
up.
Um, the Ravens and the Cowboys. The Ravens almost got beat. They slipped up. They let the Cowboys come back. They had them throttled, but then they started moving the ball. The Ravens weren't doing anything. They almost let them come back and beat them. But oh boy, that Cowboys defense. Whew, I don't know what happened, but they suck. They cannot stop the run to save their life.
Yeah,
Everybody that's played them has run it down their throat.
I I don't I don't know what's wrong with the Cowboys. I mean, they're normally one of the better regular season teams. So for them to be sitting at 1-2 right now with two losses in a row, one of them by a lot, and the other one they almost scraped out a win, but still ended up losing. They gotta pick it up. They gotta pick it up.
It's their defense. Their defense sucks. I don't know what happened, but their run defense is terrible. And for you to
Yeah.
supposedly have the best defensive player in college football, he ain't playing like it.
Oh, you meant
What?
NFL. That's
Huh?
all right. You said college football.
What do you mean? No, dude. No, the Cowboys got Micah Parsons. He's supposedly the best person in football.
No, I know, but you said college football. That's why I said you
Oh,
meant NFL.
yeah, NFL. He's supposedly the best defensive player, and right now he ain't playing like it. I know it's not all him,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
their whole defense is like it's just like they're confused. You just see them out there running around like chickens with their heads cut off.
Yeah, I like I said, they just got it. It's still early enough in the season to where they can kind of watch the film and figure out exactly what's going on. And I mean, maybe you switch some things around. Maybe you move some guys to different spots. They got to do something though, because that defense, let's say they happen to make it to the playoffs, that defense is not going to get them anywhere. You cannot make
Oh
a
yeah.
run in the playoffs without at least a halfway decent defense.
Well, I'm pretty sure in the playoffs, Aaron Jones tore them up. I'm pretty sure. Um, but yeah, the Cowboys they do not have a run game, and they interviewed Jerry Jones, and I don't know. I think he's got to go.
Oh, Jerry?
Yeah, you had a chance to get Derrick Henry and didn't even call that man because they said that they could not afford him.
Well, the Ravens could. Of course
It's
they
not that
couldn't
they
because
couldn't afford him.
they just
They
paid Dak
waited
all that
till
money.
they waited till just now to pay Dak and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, but that's why they couldn't afford Derrick
The
Henry. They put
Ravens
all that
didn't
money.
give Derrick Henry a lot of money, did they?
They didn't give him that much, but I'm pretty sure they could afford to pay him what they did. And the Cowboys, with their intentions to pay Dak and CeeDee Lamb and whoever else they're going to have to pay, Derrick Henry just wasn't in the plans for them. So they're just all in on the guys that they already have there, which personally, and I think we both said this, I would have let Dak walk.
Yeah, I
Traded
would
him
have.
something because he's shown you time and again, even if he has a
He's been
great
there for
regular
how
season,
long? How long has he been there?
at least 6 or 7 seasons, something like that.
Oh, I think it's more now. But yeah, however long he's been there, it's the same thing over and over and over. He's great. A good quarterback, not taking anything away from him. But
Yeah.
you paid this man all this money, and it's not all his fault. I think
Mm.
I think if they don't get it figured out, the Cowboys are going to be a disaster.
Oh yeah, this might be a bad season for them if they can't get at least on the defense. If they can't get situated on the defensive end, it's gonna be a long season for them.
Yeah, because this isn't like college. Like you know, they'll everybody's got a solid team. Like they'll just get gashed. They'll just have to rely on Dak,
Yeah.
and all you gotta do is double cover CeeDee Lamb. I mean, they got Brandon Cooks, sure, but he's not. That's about really all they got.
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, Cowboys just for the team that they normally are, I expect them to get it figured out. They're gonna have a great regular season, and then they're gonna go to the playoffs and lose either in wild card or division. It's just what they do every single year. If they do any
Yeah.
different, I'll be surprised.
Um, the 49ers and the Rams. That was a really good game. The Rams came back and beat them to not have anybody.
Yeah,
The
that's true.
49ers are in absolute shambles. They got the Madden curse. That's exactly what's happening.
Oh, because
McCaffrey's
Christian
hurt.
McCaffrey, he made the cover. That's
McCaffrey's
right.
hurt. Brock Purdy's got an MRI on his back today or yesterday. Debo's hurt. Well, that's not really a surprise. He's always hurt. But they got people all over the field that are hurt. Defensive tackle got hurt. It's just they are. I don't know. They gotta get some stuff to to figure it out.
Oh yeah, they definitely got to. Ah, Cowboys are just. I think they'll be all right. I think they're a good enough football team that they'll get it figured
Um, one of the headlines I've just seen: the Raiders are going to stick with Minshew, QB1.
out. Yeah,
I think he brings you. I think he is your best option, if you want me to be honest.
yeah. I mean, he hasn't been terrible up to this point. So I mean, just until he plays terrible, you play him.
The Miami Dolphins are plan to make a QB change. I would imagine it's going to be Tyler Huntley for the future because uh, Skylar Thompson ain't it.
Yeah,
Especially if you're trying to make a run for when Tua comes back. If, when, I don't know when he plans on coming back.
yeah, that team is too good. You got to put somebody in there who can help you win football games right now. So if he does come back at any point this season, y'all can make a run or try to make a run, get to a Super Bowl.
Um, Mike Tomlin said there's no need to name Fields as QB1. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Haven't really read up on that. I think Fields has earned it.
Yep.
If I'm somebody, I'm calling Pittsburgh about Russell Wilson. If I'm Miami, I'm probably calling Pittsburgh, especially if Tua is going to be out for an extended period of time.
See, I think what they're gonna do is when Russell Wilson comes back and he is healthy, I think they're gonna let him start. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna keep playing Justin Fields. They
That's
probably
tough.
want to, but it's at the end of the day, it's a business. You just pay Russell Wilson, uh, I guess, a lot more money than what you gave Justin Fields. So obviously, you're gonna play the guy who's making the money.
I think Fields is still on his rookie deal, isn't he?
No, he's not. He's not.
Huh?
The
Are
Bears
you
didn't
sure?
extend him. Yeah, the Bears didn't
Oh,
extend him, so he signed with the Steelers in free agency.
so I think Fields has earned it. I think that's going to be a tough conversation, especially if they are 4-5-0
Still,
with Fields.
yeah, yeah.
Especially if
It's,
Russell Wilson comes out there and plays like trash, you kind of killed your momentum with Justin Fields because they're playing pretty decent right now.
yeah, I think he has the locker room behind him too. So, like you said, tough conversation. Um, that'll be pretty interesting to see how that plays out.
Two more teams I want to touch on before we get into the main one. Uh, the refs bailed out the Chiefs. That was definitely pass interference. Um, I'm not sure what's going on with Travis Kelsey. A lot of people that I've watched and a lot of people that I listen to are saying that he's just not in shape. And that's probably true. He's been traveling with Taylor Swift all over the world and going to concerts and tennis. And he looks like honestly, if you want the truth, from my standpoint, it just looks like he doesn't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
If you want my honest opinion.
Um, we'll just have to see how the rest of the season goes. If it keeps up like that, I think you might be on to something. He might just be ready to call it quits. I mean, he's at this point, he's a Hall of Famer. Everybody knows him. So it's not
Unless
like he
they're
has
doing
too
it
much
for a
more.
reason. Like maybe he asked to not have so much of a load. You know what I mean? I mean, he is old. He's getting old. In
Yeah,
football
I mean,
terms, I know he's not old in real life, but I mean, you got to think he's been the bell cow for what since Patrick Mahomes has pretty much started. Since he took over, to be honest,
yeah.
he's been the go-to guy. Especially now that they don't have Tyreek Hill.
Um,
I definitely think if Pachenko is gonna, well, they did sign Kareem Hunt, but I think that they probably need to try to get a running back unless they're just okay with what they got. I know they signed Kareem Hunt, they brought him in. He didn't play, but that's a big missing piece.
yeah, he does a lot. He does a lot for them, actually. So he,
Yeah.
I'm sure he's definitely missed. But you can definitely see it too. Um, but I mean, as long as you got Patrick Mahomes on your team, I think you obviously you're going to win football games. So
Yeah. And when you got the refs on your side too, that always helps.
see that I'm not. It's hard to.
That was pass interference in the end zone. He tackled Kyle Pitts.
Okay, that one for sure was definitely should have been a PI call. But sometimes it's hard to debate the no calls, especially if you're like a player or something like that. So obviously we can comment on stuff like that, but it's hard for them to because then you have to pay fines because we're talking about how terrible the refs are, even though it's kind of true. I mean, refs miss a lot of calls. I mean, it happens.
Yeah. One more team I want to touch on: the Tennessee Titans. Will Levis is terrible. Malik
I know.
Willis burned. I'm glad that Malik Willis, they beat the piss out of the Titans. I don't
Yeah,
understand the hype with the Titans.
I don't know.
All off season, I've seen people talking about the Titans were going to be good. The Titans were going to be good. Will Levis sucks. Flat
Look,
out, I don't know how else to say it, but he's garbage.
the Titans are sick right now because first off, when Malik Willis was there, you never gave him an opportunity, or you barely
Didn't give
gave him
him a
an opportunity.
chance.
You went and drafted Will Levis because he's supposed to be that much better than him. Y'all get all this hype going into the offseason. Y'all trade Malik Willis to the Packers, and then he gets his revenge, and he shows y'all what y'all are missing out on.
Yeah. I mean, the
So,
Packers have a really good team.
yeah,
If you put them on paper, I'm not going to lie to you, the Packers have a little bit better of a team around him, but on paper, it's close. The running backs, I mean, Josh Jacobs is better than Tony Pollard. But as far as receivers, I mean, the Titans got Calvin Ridley. They
yeah.
got. I'm not even going to include DeAndre Hopkins. He's washed at this point. He's way out of his prime.
He's still playing?
DeAndre Hopkins, yeah, he caught a touchdown.
Man, I forgot he was still. No disrespect to him, I forgot he was in the league. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
he was.
he's with the Titans still.
Oh, he's a free agent or something.
I don't even know if Calvin Ridley's even doing anything with the Titans. If you want my honest, I don't even.
He should have
Let's
stayed
see
with
what
the Jaguars.
let's see what he did. Let's look at the box score. But
He
yeah,
should have stayed with the Jaguars.
he had one catch for 9 yards.
Trevor Lawrence would have been balling out if he would have stayed in
Oh,
Jacksonville.
100%. Him and Brian Thomas, that'd be a duo right there.
Man. But, man, you got to go get the money. You got to go where the money is.
Yeah, I hope it was worth it because the Titans suck. You
Oh,
had
yeah.
one catch for 9 yards.
They are terrible.
But yeah, they're getting a quarterback. If they don't take one in the free agency, I'm not really sure who can walk and who's going to walk. But speaking of Trevor Lawrence, they suck too. Their whole team just sucks. He sucks. I I don't understand the hype around him. They are
Look,
terrible.
like Nick Saban said, it's hard to play the quarterback position when you don't have a lot
But
of
he
people who are
does
talented.
though. He does.
No, let's not sugarcoat it because these guys that are around him receiver wise. First off, Brian Thomas is a rookie. Don't get me
Okay.
wrong, he'll be really good, but right now he's not even like what was he, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1, 3, whatever it is, doesn't matter.
I don't know.
You got Gabe Davis and Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk is known for injuries. Number one. Number two, Gabe Davis was playing with the Buffalo Bills. He was benefiting from playing with an elite receiver to his opposite, and you got a really good quarterback, of a very experienced quarterback on top of that. Trevor Lawrence, again, I keep going back to this. If you look at that last season they brought Calvin Ridley in, and his numbers jumped off the page. And now that he's gone, I told you this season his stats were going to go back down because he didn't have a wide receiver one, like a go-to game changer type of receiver.
Yeah, because they're double covering Brian Thomas. I watched the game. I mean, you ain't got to really worry about anybody else. I mean, they got Evan Ingram. He's solid. But Trevor Lawrence, when he came out of college, was supposed to be like the glaze
Generational.
on him was insane. They renamed the
Yeah.
stadium after this guy.
Okay,
The
they went too far with that.
stadium.
They went too far with that. I don't know what made them want to do that. Not to
They
mention the
must
fact that
love him. They got
they
blowed
overpaid
out.
him. Overpaid him, named the stadium after him. I mean, they're what?
And they're
0
0
and
and
3.
3.
They gotta I don't know what they gotta do, if you want me to be completely honest.
Doug Peterson said that they'll make changes if need be. I think if they struggle the next 2 games,
They'll bench him.
we might see some. Well, it's going to be hard to do that. The stadium's named after him. You gave this man $270 million. Can't bench him.
Well, I mean, they got to do
Welcome to
something.
Trevor Bank Stadium, home of Mac Jones.
You never know. Mac Jones could give them a better opportunity. You
Oh,
never
if they
know,
did that, I'd have to. If I was the owner and that happened, I'd have to move countries.
man.
Um, but yeah, the Bills are a really good team. I did say at the beginning that I didn't think they were going to be very good, but they're 3-0 right now, and God, they're rolling.
You done hating on Josh Allen?
No, I still don't think he's all that. I'll
Okay.
stand by that. I'll take that. However, we can argue about it one day if you want to, but I'm
This
still
might
on
be
it.
his. This might be his MVP season.
I'll bet you
Actually,
$100 this is not his MVP season.
I'm just saying. Realistically, I mean, if he keeps up the pace that he's on right now, you can't tell me
I'm
he
about to
wouldn't be
say they have
MVP this
had back-to-back blowouts. The Dolphins game doesn't really count because Tua got hurt,
year. Just saying. I'm just
but
saying.
I mean they've scored 30 points, at least 30 points in the last 3 games. So I'm still not on the hype train. He'll have to prove me differently.
All right, I feel like he's doing that thus far. I mean, he doesn't have an elite wide receiver. I mean, he's. I'm not saying he's carrying the team. They have a really good football team. That football team is well put together. Good coach, great defense.
They need to play
I'm saying,
somebody good first for me to get on this hype train. They hadn't really played
well,
anybody good. Tua got hurt.
Aside from the Jaguars, they were already beating them. They were already beaten down on the Dolphins before Tua got hurt, so that didn't matter.
We'll see
So
Sunday. We'll see Sunday. They play Baltimore. If they
who
do
they
that
play
to
game one?
Baltimore, the Cardinals.
Oh, never mind. That was you might be right.
So they play
We'll see.
Baltimore Sunday. So,
We'll see.
but jumping into I don't know if this is the best for last, but Andy Dalton looked like a Pro Bowler out there with the Panthers. So I don't know what that means for Bryce Young, but obviously it was the right decision.
Hey, I hate to say it, but it might be over
what do you
right
do
now.
now?
I mean, you obviously got to
Okay,
keep playing Andy.
I think you got to pump the brakes a little bit. The Vikings, or I mean, not the Vikings, the Raiders suck. We got to pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, but they're not terrible though.
Yeah, they did just beat the Ravens, and the Ravens beat.
So
I I don't know. Andy Dalton, he looked really good.
I'll
He
say this
looked really good.
consistently, because I want to see him consistently do that. Obviously, it's just one game. You can't give, you know, start up a bunch of hoopla because of one game. So I want to see what he looks like for 2 or 3 more games.
Yeah, they'll be without Adam Thielen. He's on IR.
Well, I mean that kind of hurts the argument then, because I mean everybody, you probably all they had to do is double cover Deontay Johnson now. So I mean, I don't know. I hate that.
He played better. Chuba Hubbard played really good. Deontay Johnson played really good. Their defense played really good. Well, their defense gave up 22 points, but I think
Do you
I think what's happening is Andy Dalton has played this game for a long time. He knows what a
Mhm.
bad offensive line looks like, and he knows how to deal with it.
Yeah,
Bryce Young never really, even in college, Alabama had a really good offensive line. Bryce Young was surrounded by NFL talent.
the first
I mean,
year, not the second year, the offensive line wasn't that great. I'll be honest, but he was in college. It's different because you can look good even with a terrible offensive line.
exactly. So I think what's happening is he panics and just aborts when Andy Dalton picked the Raiders apart. He
Yeah,
was standing back there and throwing dimes. But also, I know I say it all the time, and you can get mad if you want to. Bryce Young is little compared to Andy Dalton. He's bigger.
yeah,
I mean, Andy Dalton's like 6'3", like 230 pounds, I think. So
prototypical quarterback.
yeah,
So
I
that
mean, Bryce
I
Young's
mean,
just little. Andy Dalton's bigger, got a bigger arm. I don't know. It's just, I mean, he's played a lot more football than Bryce Young. Bryce Young's only played football for what?
a
How many
season.
years did he started out at Alabama? Two. So he's only
Yeah,
played 4 years of real football. I
yeah,
mean,
that's
Andy
true.
Dalton's been in the league for
A
10
while,
years.
a long time. I
Andy
don't know,
Dalton
man.
was drafted in 2011, and we're in 2024. So what is that?
It's
That's 14 years.
they either play Andy Dalton the rest of the season until he just has really bad games consistently and let Bryce learn, or
You
they
trade him
trade him.
now. Now.
You
You
trade
got to
him.
do it now. Because the better Andy Dalton plays, the worse Bryce Young is going to look.
Yeah, and he already has some suitors too. They said a few teams already called, even though the Panthers said he's not available. So
Well,
people still
they
want him.
also said that they weren't going to bench Bryce Young, and the next week they benched him. So we'll see. The Panthers play the Bengals Sunday, so we'll see how Andy Dalton looks against the Bengals. Which,
He might look good because y'all defenses
oh,
are
we're
they
getting to
great.
that. We're getting to that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for Bryce. I really do. I think he got put in a really tough situation. I think it's a little early to say he's a bust because the Panthers, it's hard to say they suck because Andy Dalton just came in there and did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to see. But jump into Monday, yeah. Last night the games, yeah. Jaden Daniels is going to win Rookie of the Year if he can continue to do that.
Oh yeah.
They both played really good.
Yeah.
The Bengals defense just sucks. Uh, it was like the first game in like 20 years there were no turnovers and no punts. They scored every time.
Yeah. I mean, Commanders defense really is not as good either. I mean, and honestly, they've had a pretty good defense over the past few years. So this year, I mean, I'm not
I think
super
they're really
surprised by a
young
fall off.
on the back end. Like they got Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen, but I think they're young on the back end. I think.
Yeah. Um. Not,
I think they're a few moves away from being a playoff team.
honestly, the way Jaden Daniels is playing, if he keeps that up, they will be a playoff team this year.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard to beat a team that's got a good defense because you got to be able to stop them too.
That is true. But I mean, I'm just saying, I think if
Because
he keeps it
he'll
up,
wait till he goes and plays somebody. Wait till he goes and plays Pittsburgh, or I don't even know if they play Pittsburgh, but wait till they play a team that's going to stop that.
yeah, that's right. You're right.
We'll see what they do against the Browns. The Browns got a pretty good defense.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good defenses
They
around the
do play
league.
the
So
Steelers. They do play the Steelers. So
well,
they got a tough schedule. So
yeah, we'll see what they look like once he comes up against some of those
yeah,
nice
actually
defenses.
contenders teams. Yeah,
Yeah,
because that's back to back wins for the Commanders. They beat the Giants. Now they beat the Bengals. So we'll see when they get to like Baltimore and Pittsburgh and places and teams like that. But
yeah.
let's jump to the predictions
Let's
for
do it.
week 4.
Let's do it.
Let's see. Let's jump to week 4. Let me get there. Week 4, Thursday night, we got the Cowboys and the Giants.
Cowboys got to win this game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Have to.
I think they will. The Giants don't really have that good of a team. And I don't think the Giants got a good run game. I don't even they got Devin Singletary. So if they get diced up by him, oh yeah, it's gonna be a long season.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys 20-10.
Yeah, I think they'll get it together here. I mean, all they gotta do is really all they gotta really cover is Malik Neighbors. I don't even know who else they got as far as the Giants.
Yeah.
I know he's playing really good, so yeah, I think the Cowboys this might be a blowout win for the Cowboys. I think they're gonna bounce back here. I'm gonna say 35-10.
That's fair. Yeah.
We got the Vikings and Packers. I think that's got the potential to be a really good game. Uh, Malik, I don't. They did say Jordan Love is healthy. I don't think they're gonna rush it right now because Malik Willis is playing really good. I think you ride that train till you can't ride it anymore. He doesn't really
Or
have a
just
lot of film on him. A lot of teams don't have film on Malik Willis, so you're gonna have to watch a lot of his college film per se, I guess. So I think that's what's kind of shocking some people that he's playing so good, but at the same time, he really hadn't played a lot of football in NFL, so it's kind of like a secret weapon.
yeah. I mean, you said they play who again?
The Packers, they play the Vikings. I think the Vikings will beat them.
I think the Vikings will
They're
win
just
the
playing
game.
really good football right now.
I think I think the Vikings make him look a little more
They're going to bring him back
uh
down to earth a little bit.
yeah, yeah. He won't be able
I
to
mean,
like dominate.
they held the Texans to 7 points.
Yeah, he won't be able to dominate the game like how he did against the Titans. So I think I'm gonna say Vikings win, and we're gonna say 28-17.
We got the Saints and the Falcons. I think that'll be a really good game. Uh, the Saints did get beat. They played a really good Philadelphia team. Um, I think the Saints can beat the Falcons. The Falcons are they're a little on the edge. I think Kirk Cousins has still got some figuring out to do, knocking some rust off, but I think the Saints can get it done.
I'm gonna take the Falcons in this game. I mean, they were honestly a pass interference call away from They should have beat the Chiefs. I'll just say that. And
Yeah.
I mean, the Chiefs are a tough team so far. The Saints played a good football team too, and they did end up losing. So both teams are coming off a close loss. But I think the Falcons figure it out this week, and they hand the Saints another loss. I'm gonna say we'll go 7. I'm gonna say a close one on this one. 17-14, Falcons.
I'm gonna say 21-10 Saints. I think they're gonna beat the. I think that's gonna be mine. Another must-win game. The Bengals have to beat the Panthers.
Oh yeah, if they lose
That's a
to the Panthers,
must-win game.
if they lose to the Panthers, they just need to don't give up on the season. But if they lose to the Panthers, they're gonna have to really figure out what's going on.
Yeah, quick. That's a must-win game, and that's crazy to say that that's a must-win game. But they're 0 and
No,
3.
it is. It's definitely a must win. I mean, 0-4 is a tough hole to climb out of.
But they lost Orlando Brown. He's out for the year, so that's gonna be tough.
Oh,
Tore his
yeah,
ACL.
that's terrible.
So Armarius Mims is gonna step in, but they're every game they've lost is close. Like they were a
Yeah,
pass interference call away from beating the Chiefs.
they only lost to the Patriots by a possession.
Yeah. And that was the first game of the year. Jamar Chase barely even played. They didn't have T. Higgins.
Yeah,
I mean, the Commanders they just couldn't stop the Commanders. That's just how it is. Joe Burrow played a really good game. He threw for like 300 and over 300 yards.
yeah.
I mean, he threw for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean,
I mean, that's that's just the way it shakes out sometimes. I mean,
but
you
yeah,
like
that
the
this
Bengals
is
because I mean it's they've only lost close games. You really are high on a team that only loses games by like a possession. It's not like they're getting blown out there. They're just they
they
can't.
got to get it figured out on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
I think this is a must-win game for the Jaguars. I think they need to. think they need to beat the Texans. I don't think they're going to, but if they go 0 and 4, there's
they
going to be
might as
some finger
well.
pointing.
They might as well get ready to have a parade because they're not going to win any games.
They'll
I
win
don't.
some. They're too
Maybe
good of a
maybe a
team.
couple, maybe 2 or 3. I got 2 or 3 for sure, but they're not gonna beat the Texans. The Texans, I think they win that game 34-3. I'm gonna just go ahead and get my score right now because the Jaguars are in shambles.
Oh yeah, like you said, they got to get it figured out. Um, yeah, this could be bad. This might be where the finger starts to get pointed.
Yeah, it's somebody. It's something for sure.
Um, we got the Bills and the Ravens. I think that'll be a really good game. We'll see.
Ooh,
We'll
that'll be.
like I said, we'll see what the we're gonna find out what Josh Allen really looks like.
So if Josh Allen goes out there and lights up the Ravens, you think he'll have a good shot at MVP?
It's too early to tell. There's a
Uh,
lot of games in the NFL.
I mean, yeah, but if you think about it, out of all those games, divisionally, you play in your division. Everybody plays like what, twice? So
Yeah.
outside of the division, you only play like 8 other games, which should be either out of non-divisional and then non-conference. So I mean, the way the field looks right now, I think Josh Allen has a shot to like realistically win MVP this season. I know they say that like every year, but so far this year, without Stephon Diggs, James Cook has stepped up. The offense looks great. Defense is still playing out at a high level. So I think this is his shot. This is probably his best shot to win it.
Yeah, because everybody else is kind of struggling right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of struggling, I think the hype is coming off Caleb Williams a little bit. I
I
think
mean,
they pumped the brakes a little bit.
well, of course. I
I
mean, it makes
think
sense though, because
their offensive line sucks. He's going to get hurt. I guarantee. I bet he'll be hurt by the end of the year if he makes it that far. Their offensive
I
line
doubt
is
it.
terrible.
He's a tough guy, but I think it's obviously he's a rookie. And some rookies, like I said, CJ. I keep pointing back to CJ Stroud because CJ Stroud is like a that doesn't happen too often. So Caleb Williams is more like he was the guy. He's your number one pick. You bring him into the dumpster fire that is the Bears. Even though they have all these pieces, their offensive line wasn't where it needed to be.
A
Their
lot of
run
people
game,
are saying that they should have took Joe Alt instead of Roma Dunze.
yes, they should have because Roman Dunze, they didn't really need a third wide receiver. They could have put anybody in that spot, free agent wise. You really needed somebody to help that offensive line out.
Because I can see the frustration setting in with like DJ Moore. DeAndre Swift ain't getting carries because their offensive line's horrible.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're sitting there thinking, we could be 3-0 if we'd have kept Justin Fields. You could have kept Justin Fields. You could have drafted Joe Alt, and you still could have got Roma Dunze.
yeah, that is true.
And you probably, 3-0 with Pittsburgh, and Chicago's got a better team on paper than Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's just
But
got the best defense in the league.
honestly, it's more of the outlook though. I don't think they made a terrible decision taking Caleb Williams because if you've seen like a couple of his games, he played like really well. So I think maybe a year or two into the future, the Bears will definitely compete. I don't think they compete this season.
Oh no, their offensive line's terrible.
Yeah.
And like you said, Caleb Williams is a rookie, so he's not.
And who
It ain't there yet.
who are they playing this week?
Who? The Bears? The Rams?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's a well, I don't know. He could look good against them. I mean, anything is possible. I'm gonna take the Bears on the upset. I'm gonna just say like 24-21.
I'm about to say the Bears are favored in this game by 3 points. So,
Oh, look at that. Let me Google it.
jumping to Monday, we got the Titans and the Dolphins. That game's gonna be hard to watch. I think Tyler Huntley will get his first start with Miami. Um,
Mm,
I think he's going to give them a better shot to win some games. I said it. We both said it. If they lose a couple games, say Tua is out 5 weeks and they don't win another game, I'm not putting Tua back in there. There's no point. There ain't no reason to. What are you playing for? You
I
would have
think
to win out.
they would have to play him just because. I mean, I mean, they did just give him all that money. I mean, that's more reason to not play him because you did just give him all that money. But still, the Dolphins are just a tricky situation. I mean, as far as the game goes, I think putting Tyler Huntley in as your starter, I think that gives you a better opportunity to win.
Oh yeah, for sure. He took the Baltimore Ravens to the playoffs almost
So
when Lamar got hurt.
I think Miami can actually win the game. I think they can win. I think they can pull off a win.
Yeah, they just need a different quarterback. Skylar Thompson just ain't it. He don't that ain't the offense they're trying to run.
Oh yeah, of course.
Then we got wrapping it up. We got the Seahawks and the Lions. Seahawks are another one of those undefeated teams.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're 3-0.
Oh
They've been playing
well.
some really good football.
Oh no, I think the Lions. I think the Lions bring those guys back down to earth. I'm not gonna lie to you.
They just blew out the Dolphins, but you can't count that. They don't have a quarterback.
Of
They beat the
course.
Patriots in overtime, and then they beat the Broncos. So realistically, this will be their real test.
Yeah. The Lions are a really good football team. That defense is tough. So I think that Lions defense is a little too much for the Seahawks. I think they drop this game, and I'm gonna say a score 27-20 because obviously the Seahawks are gonna score.
Yeah, and they're undefeated without Ken Walker. He's not even played.
Oh, that's right. He has been hurt.
Yep, he hadn't. I don't think he's played a game. I don't think he's played a single game. If you want me to be real.
Hmm.
Let's see. Let's check. I don't think so. Let's see. He didn't play in that game. Yeah, he hadn't played since the first game.
Okay.
Unless he got hurt
Okay.
in the Patriots game. He could have got hurt in the Patriots game.
No, I don't think he played in the Patriots game.
So they've won 2 games without their workhorse. With Zach Charbonnet's pretty solid, a decent backup.
Yeah, I mean Geno Smith, he's playing good football. So I mean,
My
and
crazy
that
take for the week is Jaden Daniels is going to win MVP. He gonna be. I don't
yeah,
know if a rookie's ever won it. I doubt it.
he yeah, nah.
I doubt it
The
because they're
only the
probably
only
going to
reason I
give it.
say that the only reason
They're
I
not
say
going to
that
win enough
the only
games.
it's not that they won't win enough games. It's because up to this point, it took him what 3? I think it took him till the third week to throw his first touchdown pass. Which obviously he's a rookie. That stuff like that is gonna happen. I just don't think like stat wise he won't have MVP stats.
Oh, if he plays like he did last night every week, then he might.
Yeah, that's true.
But they unlock something. I think that they're letting him turn it loose a little bit more. They're letting him kind of take control. I mean, him and Terry McLaurin were lighting up the Bengals last night, lighting them
Yeah,
up.
but like you said, we got to see what they look like against a stout defense.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's my crazy take for the week. He definitely gonna win
Uh,
Rookie of the Year. I don't see anybody. The only I don't really know of any other rookie that's really Malik Neighbors, maybe.
you want to hear my crazy take for the week?
What's that?
Cowboys are gonna win the Super Bowl.
No,
You said crazy, so I mean that's as
no,
crazy as the crazy is,
no.
right?
They can't even stop the run. Derrick Henry run wild on them.
Yeah,
That looked like Derrick Henry. They just couldn't stop him.
I think the Ravens are gonna get back more, not necessarily more towards that, but I think he, as the season goes along, like you said, they
I
start giving
think
him a
they
little more
finally
carries.
seen like, oh, okay, this is really what he can do. Yeah, hand him the ball.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
tearing them up. He was pretty much. He was pretty much just. I mean, there wasn't no stopping him. Him and Lamar, that duo is gonna be nuts if they can stay healthy. That it's just gonna be so hard to stop, especially when they get okay. You seen it with Jaden Daniels last night. That option that him and Brian Robinson are gonna do, it's gonna be nasty. And the same thing with the Baltimore Ravens. Do you
Yeah,
think he's
that's
gonna
true.
hand it to Derrick Henry and he's gonna bounce it outside and run it in for a touchdown every time because you're not gonna catch him.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's all we got this week on predictions. Do you have anything that you want to bring up?
I don't think so. I think we got everything covered this for this week. Um, I mean, up to this point in the season, you kind of see who the contenders are starting to look like, and you kind of see the teams that definitely got to figure it out. So, um, Yeah, no, I think that's all we got for this episode. I mean, of course, like Tyler was saying, we got our schedule all figured out now, so we gonna be pumping these out every week. So y'all just stay on the lookout. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell everybody you know. We're just, getting a nice feel for the audio portion of podcasting. So we're still working on implementing the live portion too. So that's coming. It's coming. Um, so other than that, no, that's all we got for this episode, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.